The 2020 United States presidential election was a pivotal moment in American history, unfortunately overshadowed by a wave of unprecedented conspiracy theories that challenged the very foundation of democratic processes. These theories emerged rapidly and spread widely, creating significant public discourse and division. These theories, primarily fueled by then President Donald Trump and his allies, refused to accept the legitimate election results, alleging widespread voter fraud and fundamentally rigged systems. This narrative of a stolen election became a central theme in their post election rhetoric, despite a lack of credible evidence. A central claim involved Dominion voting systems, with false assertions that their machines were secretly used to switch millions of votes from Trump to Joe Biden. These allegations suggested a sophisticated, coordinated effort to manipulate the election outcome, which was later proven to be entirely unfounded. These claims were widely and thoroughly debunked by numerous fact-checkers, bipartisan election officials, and even Trump's own Department of Justice, who consistently confirmed the accuracy and integrity of the voting results across all states. Investigations found no evidence of widespread fraud or systemic irregularities. Dominion Voting Systems has since pursued extensive defamation lawsuits against various individuals and media outlets that propagated these false claims, including Fox News, Rudy Giuliani, and Sidney Powell. These legal actions sought to hold those responsible accountable for the damage inflicted on Dominion's reputation and business. Mail-in voting also came under intense attack, with baseless claims from Trump and his supporters that it was inherently rife with fraud and easily tampered with. They argued that the expansion of mail-in voting due to the pandemic created an environment ripe for manipulation, despite its long history of secure use. Despite these persistent allegations, there was absolutely no credible evidence of widespread fraud associated with mail-in voting, a method that has been used safely and securely by millions of Americans for decades, including military personnel overseas. Numerous studies and audits confirmed its reliability. The QAnon conspiracy theory, alleging a deep state cabal of Satan-worshipping pedophiles, also played a significant role, with its followers actively spreading misinformation about the election. This theory intertwined with election fraud narratives, suggesting a grand, hidden plot to undermine American democracy. Sidney Powell, a lawyer who worked with Trump's legal team after the election, became a prominent figure in promoting various outlandish conspiracy theories about rigged voting machines and vast international conspiracies involving foreign powers. Her claims were often sensational and lacked any verifiable proof. She was later indicted in Georgia for her role in attempting to unlawfully overturn election results, facing serious charges related to election interference. In a significant development, she eventually pleaded guilty to 6 misdemeanor counts of conspiring to intentionally interfere with the performance of election duties in October 2023. Rudy Giuliani, another lawyer for Trump, also aggressively spread false claims about the election, including specific allegations of voter fraud in cities with large black populations, such as Atlanta and Philadelphia. These claims were often racially charged and designed to sow distrust in the electoral process. He was subsequently sued for defamation by 2 Georgia election workers, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, whom he falsely accused of engaging in voter fraud. In a landmark decision in December 2023, a jury awarded a staggering $148 million to them, recognizing the severe harm caused by his false accusations. The Stop the Steal movement actively promoted the conspiracy theory that the 2020 election was stolen through fraudulent means, organizing numerous protests and rallies across the country. These events often featured inflammatory rhetoric and calls to action based on unsubstantiated claims. These pervasive conspiracy theories significantly eroded public trust in the electoral process, leading a substantial portion of the Republican electorate to genuinely believe the election was stolen. This widespread belief continues to impact political discourse and voter confidence. The culmination of this relentless misinformation and the fervent belief in a stolen election contributed directly to the tragic and violent January 6, 2021, attack on the U.S. Capitol. This event marked a dark day in American history, as rioters sought to prevent the certification of electoral votes. Trump and his allies faced numerous legal challenges and indictments for their extensive efforts to overturn the election results, including charges related to racketeering and conspiracy. These legal battles have been ongoing, highlighting the serious nature of their actions. Individuals and organizations targeted by these baseless theories, such as Dominion voting systems and dedicated election workers, courageously filed defamation lawsuits to clear their names and seek justice. These lawsuits aim to hold those spreading falsehoods accountable for the harm they caused. Despite being widely and repeatedly debunked by official investigations and journalistic fact checking, these conspiracy theories about the 2020 election continue to be actively spread on social media platforms and by some political figures. This ongoing dissemination poses a challenge to informed public discourse. As of October 2025, attempts to undermine faith in elections persist, with new narratives and claims emerging, though some individuals who spread misinformation have faced significant legal consequences for their actions. The fight against election disinformation remains a critical ongoing effort. Notably, Dominion Voting Systems was sold to a former Republican election official in October 2025, marking a new chapter for the company and potentially signaling a shift in the landscape of election technology and its perception. This sale represents a significant development for the company at the center of so many false claims. Understanding these complex events and the pervasive nature of election conspiracy theories is crucial for maintaining the integrity of our democratic processes and ensuring informed public discourse. It is vital to distinguish between legitimate concerns and unfounded allegations to protect the future of our elections.